Let's make it a good day. We do it our own way. Let's make it a good day. Oh, no matter what they say. Oh, yeah.
Welcome back to the Jason Show, everybody. Summer is the season when many people make time to open a book, chill out, and start reading.
I'm 2 in already.
Are you?
Proud of myself.
I'm
Yep.
1.5.
Okay, I'm winning.
Right,
and
yeah.
if you need some I know it's not a competition.
Yeah,
if you need
but it is.
recommendations on what to read, Kendall and her mom, they are always here to help us out. It is time again for them to share their latest book picks.
And we're back with more books to pick. Both of ours. Yours is being turned into a movie that's coming out right now, and mine is officially going to be a TV show on Hulu. Why don't you go first, Mom?
All right, my book is Where the Crawdads Sing. I'm sure you've all heard of it by now. This came out in 2018, which is when I actually originally read it. And I didn't know anything about the book, but I was so intrigued by the cover and by the backstory of the author. Her name is Delia Owens. She's a debut author, and she's a retired wildlife biologist, which tells you, you'll see how that all plays in when you read the book. Anyway, this book follows the life of Kaya Clark, who lives in almost complete isolation in the marshes of North Carolina. Ever since her family, beginning with her mother, walk out on her one by one, at a very early age. So by the time she's 10, she's surviving almost entirely on her own. Occasionally, a kind stranger will leave her a basket of goods, and the neighbors down the road help to teach her how to cook and to hunt. Otherwise, complete social isolation. Enter Tate, who's a local boy who offers to tutor her and teaches her how to read. They develop a really great friendship, but of course, Tate also leaves. He goes off to college, and now that she's had a taste of a relationship, she's very, very lonely. And unfortunately, this leads her into a very, very ill-fated relationship with Chaser, who's the local, basically, hottie boy from the small town that by where she lives. So all of this comes down to an absolutely fascinating, beautiful book. You can't miss this. It's a coming of age novel. It's a romance. It's a murder mystery. All those things wrapped into one book. I can see why they're making it into a movie. And I'm telling you, you can read this book in a day. So I would say run out and get the book, read it, and then go see the movie.
Ooh, I love that.
Ooh.
Okay, so my book is a fantasy book. It's a genre we don't normally talk about because I don't know if there's a lot of crossover with our audience that would like this, but I'm a nerd and I love it. And this book, I think anyone would like. It's called A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. She has a couple of different series. This one is incredible. It's a 400-page book that I read in like 3 days. I was obsessed. It's Hunger Games meets Lord of the Rings meets Beauty and the Beast meets 50 Shades of Grey. So it's got like sexy, but also like a super powerful heroine and magical creatures. It centers around this woman, Feyre, who is from a human village. There are magical people in her land, but they don't cross paths and the humans are very afraid of them. One day she goes out and hunts. She's a huntress that feeds her family. They're starving to death. Very Katniss Everdeen, Hunger Games. And she kills a wolf. Turns out that wolf was not any wolf. It was a magical being. And so she is taken into the land of the fairies, where it's very dangerous to be a human. And she eventually goes from hating them to falling in love with one of them, very Beauty and the Beast. And there's a problem though in the fairy realm that is going to take everything away from them, some kind of blight over their people that will eventually come to humans. And it turns out Feyre is one of the only people, of course, who can save the realm. It's incredible. I really encourage you to read it, even if you don't love fantasy. It's a whole series. I read the second book in 4 days, and it's 620 pages. So give it a try, and we hope you like our July picks.
Yes.
Our thanks to Kendall and Kendall's mom. And if you missed any of Kendall and her mom's picks, we'll be posting the segment on the Jason Show Facebook and YouTube pages. You mentioned you are, what, 2 books in?
I'm 2 books in.
Okay, which ones?
The Club,
Okay.
which I got a little bored.
Thumbs down?
Yeah,
Okay.
but The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which I know Kendall's reading now.
Wow.
So good.
7 husbands.
And they're making it into a movie, so get on it before it becomes a movie. What's yours?
7 husbands?
It's kind of like she's a Hollywood starlet.
Okay.
She has all these relationships, and she decides to share the stories behind each of them and what broke them up and the truth in her life that comes out from these are really fascinating. There's a big twist at the end.
Okay.
So good.
Okay. I am, like I said, I'm trailing you in the summer reading competition series.
Sure.
1.5 books. The one I finished is called Every Summer After. These are 2 books that I just grabbed when I was in the airport not long ago. I was just like, oh, yeah, I'll grab these 2. Definitely was not the target audience for this. However, I really enjoyed the story. Story of a young girl. Now she's grown up, and it's kind of like 2 simultaneous timelines of when she was younger and what she's doing now, and a story of redemption and trying to right a wrong. Thought it was pretty good. The other one, Blind Tiger, moving a little slow, but I'm liking it so far. It's just my own fault for playing video games at night instead of reading. So
I really appreciate your honesty.
that's what I am. I'm nothing if not honest. Is that why you ask me back all the time, Jeff? Yeah, I mean that's what I do on this show. Yeah, we'll be right back, everybody.
And no lights are burnt out yet.
Yeah,